This beach could be anywhere in the world. Unfortunately, there are many beaches like this.
Animals mistake rubbish for both food and houses.
More than 1 billion plastic bags are used every minute.
Over 35 billion plastic bottles are disposed of each year.
Plastic is responsible for the deaths of over 1 million sea creatures and birds every year.
Every piece of plastic ever made still exists today.
What harm could it possibly do? What harm could it possibly do? What harm could it possibly do?
I forgot my reusable shopping bag. Oh well, we can just carry them. No, I just use a plastic bag. What harm could it do?
I know, they forgot their reusable shopping bags. My story is about to begin. This one fateful day, when someone forgot to take their reusable bags with them to go shopping. What harm could it possibly do? Just a plastic bag like me? Well, we're about to find out. But first, a little bit about me. I'm a regular plastic bag, one of millions used every minute around the world. I am made from fossil fuels. Dangerous greenhouse gases are emitted during my manufacture. We can be recycled, but not easily, and generally only 3% of us actually are recycled. I'm about to leave the store now. The girls will abuse me for only 5 minutes before disposing of me. The girls carried me over to the local park. While they were eating their food, they weren't watching me, and the wind came along and blew me away. The girls saw and tried to catch me, but I was too fast. The wind was too strong and I escaped. I landed in a tree nearby. A curious bird wandered over and started pecking at me. I fell free, then was gobbled up by another bird, my first victim. Because you see, as soon as an animal eats a plastic bag, they start to die. It's a slow and painful death. The bird passed away. It started to decompose and I was free again. The wind picked me up and I started on my next journey. This time, I was blown straight into a drain. I was swept down the pipes and carried down the river to the ocean because, you see, all drains lead to the ocean. I was floating peacefully along when suddenly, snap, snap. Oh no, a turtle. They're such beautiful creatures, but to a turtle I look like food, and unfortunately she ate me. Yep, and you guessed it. It's a death sentence for the turtle. The turtle took a long time to die. I inflated in her stomach and caused her to float up to the surface, so she couldn't dive down to get food. She was in a lot of pain. I was relieved when she gave up her fight for life. I felt so bad. Oh, why do I have to look like a jellyfish in the water? It took a while for the turtle to decompose. Eventually, I was set free, and I was washed up on shore. I became tangled in a bird's foot, and he carried me up into the air. He struggled to free himself and became tired and flew down gracefully into the bush to try to continue. He struggled for days trying to untangle himself from me. Eventually, he lost his fight. Once again, the decomposing body allowed me to be free. This time, the wind picked me up and I sailed over the mountains. I was able to see the beauty of this planet, all it has to offer, and all the beautiful wildlife. Oh, please don't let me destroy our home. Unfortunately, I landed in a creek. I was swept downstream, and you guessed it, I ended up back into the ocean. This time, I washed up on shore. I was joined by a large gathering of plastic objects. Cans, tins, bottles, and plastic wrappers. Where did it all come from? We are polluting this magnificent earth, and we won't stop. A bird came along. He looked starving, and you guessed it, he ate me. This same cycle has now been repeating for nearly 1,000 years. Hundreds of lives have been lost because of me. And all because using a plastic bag was convenient. It has devastated me, the destruction that my kind has created. I have seen the planet deteriorate. Whole species have been wiped out. Plastic bags don't disintegrate. We clog up waterways and we are notorious for choking seabirds, turtles, fish, and other marine life. Act now and stop this from happening. Say no to plastic, please, before it's too late.
If we don't do something, our future will be bleak. Do you really want to swim in a polluted ocean?
My name is Pingan. I live in Queensland where the bananas are ripe, the sand is as gold as corn, and the water's as good as it gets. I was swimming down the Australian east coast when my stomach started rumbling like an earthquake. I came across a see-through bundle of yummy, well at least I thought it was. I took one bite and finished it straight away. It tasted strange and made my tummy hurt. I slowly started floating towards the surface. In the distance I saw a boat. I knew I was in trouble. I tried to swim back down to the bottom, but I couldn't. It seemed that the jellyfish had inflated inside my stomach. The boat came really close, and I struggled to go back under. I heard something approaching me, and I thought it was another boat ready to kill me. I held my breath. I was picked up by smooth hands. I think it's from a silly plastic bag, said one of the ladies. Yeah, I think so too. I can't swim down under the surface anymore, so I stay at a rehabilitation centre where I am safe, and I will live out my days here. Unfortunately, I will not survive for much longer because plastic bags are a death sentence.
Splash. The waves pushed against me as I jumped into the water. My tail pulled against the sand. My fins soared through the sea as the imitating fish was drawn by the sparkling sun. The deceased fish floated closer and closer to me as I crept closer to my prey. I stopped any motion. Gently gliding through the weightless water, I opened my jaw and swallowed my prey. I struggled to breathe while the rapid filled my throat. I drifted away to the bottom of the seabed. I used to be feared by the other creatures of the sea, but now the fear has drained away, like my life. My last vision taunted me. I felt pain rush through my body, and I rested my battle. I let the water rush through my body and sunk down to the bottom of the once beautiful sea. The shimmering light sunk into my memory when the last vision will end soon.
I lifted from the branch I was sitting on and looked for food. There was nothing but the blue sky, but then I saw it, a bright-coloured type of food floating upwards. I started to fly faster through the sky. It got bigger as I approached it. Before getting any closer, I opened my mouth and I took a bite, and the object had a big bang seconds afterwards. It stuck to my mouth, then I swallowed it all up. After a while, I started to feel sick. I landed on a close-by branch and went to sleep. Suddenly I woke up somewhere else. It had no trees but big, bright lights. Then I went to sleep with some pain in my neck. I knew it was the type of food I ate before. I woke up blinking my eyes a few times and realized the bars. I turned around and they surrounded me, so I couldn't leave. The door opened and then the bars opened in front of me and I flew out onto the tree branch. I saw the same strange object fly again, and I didn't go and bite it. The object reminded me eating them, and I realized that it was a balloon.
Yum yum, I said as I gobbled down the fish. The unusual taste really surprised me as I was not used to the taste of this fish. I kept swimming towards the shore. Then I arrived. The fish that I had swallowed earlier wouldn't stay down. I threw it up and looked down at it. The fish was filled with little tiny balls of what I think they call plastic. I wonder how it was that these unusual balls ended up inside of a fish. I was still hungry, so I ate more fish and swam off. When I arrived at my next destination, I did not have enough energy to go on the shore. My stomach hurt again, and all I could think about was the fish that I had eaten and how it had been contaminated with plastic. Did the fish then contaminate me? What if all the fish are now filled with plastic? Am I always going to feel sick now after I eat?
How would you feel if your life started to drift away in one glimpse? A human had been shopping and started to load her vehicle when it started raining. For fish like us, it doesn't matter because we're underwater, but for humans, it's a big deal. So she started to load her vehicle and was rushing. She didn't know her plastic bag flew out of her car and flowed down to the stream and into a storm drain. Lightly flowing, the lifeless plastic bag floated in the blue seas, and swimming past, I happened to pick up the plastic bag and swallow it. Most people think I would just chew it or swallow it and it would come out the other end, but most people don't know that plastic is poison. So, getting poisoned, I struggled to breathe while floating to the top of the beautiful sea. It all happened like this. I lived a happy, carefree life swimming and playing with my pod until one day I was hungry, so I went on the hunt for food. I hovered closer to my prey and watched the bubbles past the shadows below. My eyesight focused and all I can see is a fish just happily floating right near my eyes. I swam closer to my prey without a second to lose. A dolphin happened to pass and it swallowed me whole. The fish drifted down inside me. It sat uncomfortably in my stomach and I realized that I just had eaten my last meal. This fish was dying and now I would be too. Trapped inside, while struggling from the poison inside me, I realized my last moments were killing a dolphin because of a plastic bag. I started to gently tilt, turn, and spin down to the rocky seabed. I forced my fins to push me above the surface of the sea, but it became too much. I turned off my mind and gave up my battle and rested on the bottom of the sea, waiting to become the next victim of plastic.
This is where my story begins. It was a beautiful day. I started swimming up the coast to find food. Going up to the surface and ducking back under is what I did every time I went for a swim. But little did I know that there was a ghost net lying in wait. Up and down, up and all of a sudden I was caught. I struggled to release myself. I tried to swim back under, but the net was holding me tight. Knowing that I was going to die, I lay there on top of the water. The net became tighter as I moved around. I washed up on the sand. I could barely breathe. The rescue centre was notified about me, and they came and saved me. Unfortunately, the net did too much damage, and 2 of my flippers were unable to be saved. My life will never be the same.
Ways you can help. Think, do you really need that plastic bag?
Look after the environment. If you see any rubbish, pick it up and put it in the rubbish bin.
Take reusable bags to the shops with you.
Reduce, reuse, recycle, reinvent, upcycle, repurpose, or even better,
Refuse and don't use it at all. Plastic doesn't go away. Plastic is forever.
Imagine pollution traveling down, down, down. Help them survive. Help them survive. Bring back the memories of the sea and all the people we used to be. Help them survive. Help them survive. Just close your eyes and remember the sea. Just close your eyes. If you were an animal, what would you be? Imagine the water traveling down, down, down. All of the creatures that live on the ground, ground, ground. Feel the shiver of hatred, but don't just look for a second. Help them survive. Help them survive. We cannot hear them, they cannot shout. Let's work together to help them out. Help them survive. Help them survive. Just close your eyes and remember the sea. Just close your eyes. If you were an animal, what would you be? Imagine the water traveling down, down, down. All of the creatures that live on the ground, ground, ground. What harm could it possibly do? What harm could it possibly do? What harm could it possibly do? What